buttercup, you're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall, won't stop till I get enough.
Okay, so, you're probably curious about this whole NFL thing, right?
Yeah,
NFL on Christmas Day.
definitely.
And on a Wednesday, no less.
Yeah, it's unusual.
2 games streaming on Netflix. It's definitely not your typical holiday football.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to understand the why behind this, the strategy, the money, the implications for the future of the game. And we're going to unpack all of that. But first, let's set the scene.
Right, because it might seem a little odd for those used to the traditional Sunday or Monday night football schedule.
Exactly. We know the NFL has played games on Christmas Day for the past few years. But this year, the holiday falls smack dab in the middle of the week. Usually, Christmas Day games are easy to slot in, but Wednesday throws a real wrench into the typical rhythm of the season.
It does. It creates a scheduling puzzle. A Wednesday game means the teams involved wouldn't have the standard 3 days of rest between games, which is crucial for player safety and recovery.
And I bet the players' unions wouldn't be too happy about that either.
Yeah.
So how did the NFL solve this problem? Did they just say, tough suck, guys play anyway?
Not quite. They had to get creative. They scheduled the 4 teams playing on Christmas: the Chiefs, Steelers, Texans, and Ravens, to play their Week 16 games on the previous Saturday. For those not deep in NFL scheduling, Week 16 is the week before Christmas, and these particular teams will now have a slightly longer clock before their Christmas Day matchup.
So like a Saturday to Wednesday turnaround instead of the usual Sunday to Thursday. Clever.
Yeah.
But scheduling aside, the real headline here is the Netflix deal, right?
Yeah.
This is the NFL dipping its toes into the streaming world in a major way.
Absolutely. This is a landmark deal for both the NFL and Netflix, and it's certainly not chump change. We're talking $150 million just for this year's Christmas games, with an agreement in place for Netflix to stream at least 1 game for the next 3 years.
Wow, that's a serious chunk of change. But it makes you wonder, why is Netflix so eager to jump into live sports, especially at that price tag?
Well, for Netflix, it's a strategic move on several fronts. First, it's about attracting new subscribers and retaining existing ones in an increasingly competitive streaming market. You've got Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, all vying for viewers' attention, and live sports are a powerful draw.
I guess it's hard to resist the allure of live events, especially for something as popular as the NFL. You can't just binge watch a game later. You want to be part of the action as it happens. But is that the whole story? I mean, $150 million is a lot to shell out just to gain some new subscribers.
That's true, and this is where it gets interesting. Streaming isn't just about subscriber numbers, it's about capturing a different audience, a younger, more digitally savvy demographic that might not be tuning into traditional TV broadcasts.
So it's not just about adding viewers, it's about adding a certain type of viewer, the kind that's comfortable with streaming, maybe even prefers it.
Precisely. And this aligns perfectly with the NFL's long-term strategy. They know that to stay relevant and thrive, they need to reach younger fans who are increasingly cutting the cord and embracing streaming platforms.
So it's a win-win in a way. Netflix gets the prestige and audience draw of the NFL, and the NFL taps into a whole new generation of potential fans.
Exactly. But let's not forget, this isn't just about appealing to younger fans. It's also about the NFL exploring new revenue streams and diversifying their broadcast partnerships. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Okay, so we're seeing a convergence of interests here. Netflix wants to expand into live sports and attract a specific audience, and the NFL is looking to secure its future by reaching those same viewers.
It's a fascinating case study in how the media landscape is evolving and how major players like the NFL are adapting to these changes.
And it all comes to a head on Christmas Day of all days. But before we dive deeper into those implications, let's take a step back and look at what this means for the NFL financially, especially with that massive Netflix deal in play. I imagine $150 million is nothing to sneeze at, even for the NFL.
You're right. $150 million is significant even for the NFL. It's a huge boost to their revenue, and it signals that streaming platforms are willing to pay top dollar for the rights to broadcast live games.
So does this mean we're going to see more and more NFL games moving to streaming services in the future? Is this the beginning of the end for traditional television broadcasts?
It's certainly a possibility. This Netflix deal is a major step in that direction. It shows that the NFL is open to exploring new avenues for distribution, and streaming offers them a lot of flexibility and potential for growth.
But what about the existing TV contracts the NFL has with networks like CBS, Fox, NBC, and ESPN? Those deals are worth billions of dollars.
Those are definitely factors the NFL has to consider. They can't just abandon those partnerships overnight. But as those contracts come up for renewal, we could see a shift in the balance of power, with streaming platforms playing a larger role in the negotiations.
So it's not a sudden revolution, but maybe a gradual evolution towards streaming becoming the dominant way people watch football. But what's the appeal for the NFL beyond just the money? I mean, they're already making bank with traditional TV deals.
It's about more than just dollars and cents. Streaming offers the NFL a chance to reach a wider audience, especially younger fans who are more likely to be streaming content than watching traditional TV.
Okay, so we've talked about the financial incentives and the strategic goals of reaching new audiences. But what does this shift to streaming mean for the average football fan? How does it change the viewing experience?
Well, for starters, it offers a lot more flexibility and control. You can watch games on your own terms, on your preferred device, wherever you have an internet connection. No more being tied to a specific TV schedule or location.
So no more scrambling to get home in time for kickoff or fighting over the remote with family members. You can stream the game on your phone, tablet, laptop, even your smart TV, all while enjoying those Christmas leftovers.
Exactly. It's all about convenience and personalization. And streaming platforms are constantly innovating, adding new features and ways to enhance the viewing experience.
Like what kind of features? Give me some examples.
Well, think about interactive elements like real-time stats integrated into the stream, multiple camera angles to choose from, and even social media integration so you can chat with friends or other fans while watching the game.
Okay, now that's cool. It's like taking the best parts of watching a game at a sports bar. The camaraderie, the shared excitement, and bringing it into your living room or wherever you happen to be watching.
Precisely. Streaming has the potential to create a more immersive and engaging experience for the viewer. It's not just about passively watching the game, it's about being part of the action, connecting with other fans, and having a more personalized experience.
So it's not just about the where and when, it's about how you watch the game. But let's play devil's advocate for a moment. Doesn't this individualized, on-demand way of watching threaten the traditional sense of community that comes with watching football?
That's a great question, and it's one that a lot of people are grappling with. It's true that streaming can make the experience more solitary with everyone watching on their own devices.
Right. It's less about gathering around the TV with family and friends, and more about everyone being in their own little bubble. Does that mean the communal aspect of football, that shared experience, is going to fade away?
It's possible, but it's not a foregone conclusion. I think there's potential for streaming to actually enhance the communal experience in new ways.
How so? I'm intrigued.
Well, imagine virtual watch parties where you can stream the game with friends and family who are in different locations, chat with them in real time, and even share reactions and commentary. Or think about interactive features that allow you to play trivia games or make predictions with other viewers during the game.
That's actually a really interesting point. So it's not necessarily about replacing the traditional viewing experience, but about evolving it using technology to create new ways for fans to connect and engage with each other, even if they're not physically in the same room.
Exactly. And this brings up another important point. The shift to streaming isn't just about changing how we watch football, it's also about changing when we watch.
Okay, I'm ready for another aha moment here. What do you mean by changing when we watch?
Well, traditionally, NFL games have been confined to specific days and times, Sunday afternoons, Monday nights, Thursday nights, but streaming opens up the possibility for games to be broadcast at any time on any day of the week.
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
So we could potentially see more games like this Christmas Day matchup on a Wednesday, a Tuesday, even a holiday morning.
Exactly. The NFL could experiment with different time slots, targeting specific audiences or capitalizing on events or holidays to create unique viewing opportunities.
So this Christmas Day experiment might just be the tip of the iceberg. The NFL is testing the waters, seeing how fans respond to this unconventional scheduling and streaming format. If it's a success, who knows what boundaries they'll push next.
It's an exciting time to be a football fan, that's for sure. The future of the game is wide open, and streaming is playing a major role in shaping that future.
So we've covered the strategic and financial motivations behind the NFL's move to streaming, explored the potential impact on the viewing experience, and even speculated about the future of game scheduling. But what does it all mean? What's the big takeaway for our listener who's been patiently following along on this deep dive?
Well, I think the big takeaway here is that the NFL is not afraid to evolve.
Yeah.
They're embracing new technologies and distribution models to reach a wider audience and to secure their future. And this Christmas Day experiment with Netflix is a prime example of that evolution in action.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're not just a Sunday afternoon tradition anymore. We're Wednesday night. We're Christmas Day. We're streaming on your device of choice.
Exactly. They're adapting to meet the demands of a changing viewership. They're not afraid to shake things up and try new things. And this could have a ripple effect throughout the entire sports broadcasting landscape.
So it's not just about football. This is about the changing nature of how we consume entertainment.
Yeah, definitely.
And it raises some interesting questions. For example, what happens to the traditional TV networks if streaming becomes the dominant way people watch sports?
That's a big question, and it's one that those networks are certainly grappling with. They're going to have to adapt and innovate to stay relevant. We're already seeing some of them launching their own streaming platforms or partnering with existing ones.
So it's a bit of a wild west out there right now, with everyone trying to figure out how to navigate this new landscape. But for the viewer, it means more options, more flexibility, and hopefully a more engaging and personalized viewing experience.
It's an exciting time to be a sports fan, that's for sure. We're on the cusp of a major shift in how we watch and experience our favorite games.
And for you, our listener, it means keeping an eye on the NFL and the world of sports broadcasting. This Christmas Day game is just a taste of what's to come. Who knows what innovative ideas and groundbreaking partnerships we'll see in the future.
The possibilities are truly endless. So enjoy those Christmas games on Netflix, and as you're watching, think about the bigger picture. This is more than just football. It's a glimpse into the future of entertainment.
Well said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. We hope you found it insightful and maybe even a little bit thought-provoking. Until next time, happy holidays and keep exploring.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.